Now, what makes a company successful is the members of its team, and NEOLD really has some great characters. For example, take Roger. Now, Roger, he's an older guy, and this really has its benefit for NEOLD because he was around when tube gear was at its pinnacle, and he's able to take all of this knowledge, which is quite frankly lost on current generations because we don't practice the same practices when it comes to making tube gear, but he's able to take that knowledge and truly apply it into the products that they make when they make their prototypes. And then we have Dominik, who you can think of as the guru or the man with the plan. I was actually fortunate enough to be able to speak to him on the phone to just discuss about NEOLD, and just hearing how much passion he had for the company truly told me so much about the company itself. And then finally we have Reimund. He's the expert who's responsible for translating all of these different topologies into DSP code. Now, NEOLD have three approaches that they take when it comes to making their plugins. The first of which is they'll actually source old historic audio equipment or broadcast equipment, and they'll analyze all of the schematics of this unit to understand what it is that makes it sound how it sounds, and then they'll transfer this into DSP code using classic modeling technology. However, some of these units are actually so rare that when they arrive, they don't even work. So this is really where someone like Roger comes in handy, because he'll be able to repair those units, and as he's repairing them, truly break down and understand what is it that makes this unit what it is. Now, as their old historic audio equipment or broadcast equipment, oftentimes they don't have the stuff that we would need or often value in the DAW. So NEOLD will take the initiative to add those features to those plugins. Now, the second approach is they'll have a completely crazy concept, like they want to build a saturator compressor / distortion unit, or they'll have a particular component that they love that they want to build something around, like a tube, for example, or a particular transformer. They'll actually take this concept, give it to Roger, who will then build a physical prototype of that unit, and then Reimund will then analyze the schematics of that unit and then transfer it into code so that we get a really cool plugin that's available in our DAW. This is the case for the NEOLD Wunderlich, which, if you don't know already, I absolutely love this plugin. Now, for the third approach, there's actually no prototype or hardware unit whatsoever, but what we have to understand is because there's this wealth of knowledge that they have from all of the units that they've made previously, they're able to take this understanding of how components work, the different schematics that are available to the public, and put them together in order to make a plugin that's truly unique. This is the case for Warble, for example, and even the Oldtimer also, which is exactly the plugin we're going to be talking about today. Now, this delay is comprised of two completely different delay topologies, the first of which is a brigade delay, which is also known as like a BBD delay, for example. And this is a really unique sound because it has this kind of warm character, which kind of has this resonance to it, but also rolls off certain frequencies. I really love to use something like this going into reverb. And then the second topology is modeled after a classic, one of the first actual digital delays to ever come out in the 1970s. This is why it's called the Oldtimer, because it's based off of old delay topologies. Now, what makes it so special is because they've morphed these two delays into a single delay engine, the topology control ends up modifying the delay entirely. They're not just running a digital and an analog delay in parallel, for example, but they instead took the character and the essence of these delays and merged them into this topology control so that you can have a blend of the two. But let's just have a listen to how it sounds. I do have to be honest, I am really loving doing these videos, and I really hope that you're enjoying them too. If you are, please let me know in the comments down below. But I'm just getting to talk to these really cool people and just find out things about these companies that I just knew nothing about. Like, it was just this digital thing on the screen, and being able to talk to the people who make it and understand why they made it and what the process was like. I don't know, man. I think I'm just a total nerd when it comes to these things. But if you want to check out any of these plugins, then be sure to head over to pluginalliance.com, where you can download the 14-day trial. See you in the next one.